The corporations have not yet won.
Community still exists in small tucked-away areas not often talked about.
Artists and businesses beginning to thrive in places thought to be defeated.
Dave, I like to call him David Francis.
And I, Tom Maslowski,
are here to give you a glimpse of what's going down in downtown J-Town.
We're going to be interviewing all of our favorite musicians,
Artists and business owners
that give every ounce of themselves into what they do.
It is another Monday night here in downtown Joliet. We are at the outro until we play it again.
God damn it.
I love the outro, but yeah, I did my best.
Not the time and the place for that.
I did my best to talk through it as if nothing was taking place.
I tried to pause it and then fat finger. Just start over. I'll cut it out.
Or we can just leave it in. Does it really matter?
Well, you got me saying, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah.
That was a little behind the scenes for the audience there.
I don't like that.
Well, it's not live, right? You guys edit this.
Yeah,
right?
but it's supposed to be.
Live.
It's supposed to be like the real deal. I say we keep it in. I think everyone's laughing right now and enjoying themselves with a cold beer.
Let's just keep talking about it. Okay, go ahead.
We are above Chicago Street Pub, our favorite music venue. The open mic night is cranking. The rain is still cranking. And we have Brent James here with us tonight in the studio.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. Can you take us in with your first song tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to do a new song that wrote not too long ago that the Hillbillies are starting to play. We're going to go and record it real soon. It's called Don't Water Down My Whiskey.
Sounds great.
It's okay to understand. I can take it like a man. Shake the worry from your mind. Tell it to me kind. Just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Give it straight to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Just give it straight to me. I know you've been losing sleep. I see you lost and you're falling deep, drowning in some raging sea. You're holding back on me. Just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Give it straight to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Just give it straight to me. There's a loser in every fight. Can't take the darkness from the night. Sometimes souls they drift apart. Find new beginnings, a change of heart. Just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Give it straight to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Give it straight to me. Don't water down my whiskey. Just give it straight to me.
was great.
Thank you, brother.
That was very
Yeah,
clean.
that was awesome. That was awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is that a brand new one?
It's a brand new one. We're gonna go and record it real soon here, probably in Chicago Street Pub, Third City Sound with Billy.
So that wasn't laying around for years and you decided to bring it out?
No, I don't even know how it happened, to be honest with you. I had that title in my head, "Don't Water Down My Whiskey," and as soon as you come up with a title like that, I look it up online to see how many people have come up with this idea and how many people have written songs with this, So I found a couple where it was an album title, and one song was "Don't Water Down My Whiskey," but the whole catchphrase that I had for it was "Don't water down my whiskey, give it straight to me." And it's pretty much about a couple who, your significant other is pretty much done with the situation, but she still loves you, and she's afraid to tell you, because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. But she's done. And the whole thing about it is like, the guy's like, "Hey, I can take it like a man. I understand. Don't water down my whiskey. Give it straight to me, So.
Was that like a catalyst song? Was that just something that you were kind of popped in there one day? How did that catchphrase come out?
Yeah, well, me and my wife are still happily married, so it wasn't nothing personal.
I was kind of dancing around that one. I'm taking my time with that one.
No, sometimes you write things. I get inspired by movies. I get inspired by titles of different things, walking through a bookstore, reading a magazine and seeing a word or a catchphrase, and then it just kind of sticks with me for sometimes months, and then all of a sudden it comes out in a song. So sometimes I write from personal experiences, a lot of my past material, and some of the future stuff I've done, or not future stuff, but stuff I've done with Righteous Hillbillies' last record has been from personal experiences. But sometimes it's nice to just take that back seat and write a song that's, kind of fictitious for you.
Sure.
But still you can connect to it and the meaning of it if you were in that situation.
So that one was totally fictitious, you're saying?
Yeah.
Just a typical situation that comes up usually.
Just a great title that I liked,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I'm sorry that it took us so long to get you up here. You were definitely one of the original people to use this studio to get the whole scene going downstairs at Chicago Street.
I'm just honored to be here, so thank you.
Likewise. How old is that guitar?
What's funny about this? My daughter was over today, and we were just talking about it today. It's my very first Martin acoustic I bought. I bought it when I started my first band, the serious band, the Brent James band.
Sure.
When I first met John Condren down here at the studio, that band was on its demise, on its way out. But anyway, back to the guitar. I bought it to use with that band, and my daughter was about 2 years old, and I helped her write her name out on the guitar.
Oh.
And then after she wrote it out on the guitar, I took the pen and inscribed it in there, so really dug into the wood and everything. So it says Kaylin right here on my Martin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she was over today, and we were just talking about it.
So how many years?
My daughter's 18, or 19, so I think I got it when she was probably right before she turned 2, so probably about 17 years.
So that was the first Martin you bought. Was that the first guitar you ever had, acoustic style? No.
I'd had stuff that my dad had given me years ago for Christmas when I was a kid. I got pictures with your very first guitar, and you're playing it looks like some funked up jazz chord, but it's really no chord at all.
No, you're just laying your hand on it.
Because you had no idea what you were doing, So I got pictures like that with a cowboy hat on by the Christmas tree with an old Global Harmony or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then your dad was a musician also?
He was. My dad was a twin. Johnny Motes was his twin. My dad's name's Jim. And they were both in a band together playing guitar, and their other brother, Dave, was the drummer in the band.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'd always been around music when I was a kid. The thing that always made me mad is my dad never let me walk into the room where they were actually practicing, So I had to stand outside the door and, listen through the door.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and they were old school, so they were playing old Twist and Shout and Beatles songs and stuff like that, and Chuck Berry, early stuff.
Now, were they gigging kind of guys?
What's that?
Were they gigging kind of guys?
No, I think it was just more of they weren't. I hope my dad isn't listening to this, but I don't think they were really a polished band or anything. They were just more having fun with it and stuff. They played a couple weddings and different things like that, but I was too young to tell what the level of professionalism that they were at. But
so no, that was my next question. Then no recordings or anything.
No,
like that?
I have nothing but memories. Yeah.
So you've been basically just playing your entire life. What was the first time you wrote your own song?
It was actually back probably in junior high. I remembered it was a song called Borrowed Time. And it wasn't very good. It's like one of those things where it just takes a little time to, kind of hone your craft and everything. And then when I was in high school, I wrote a song called Anything for You that I still like to this day. It's on actually the Brent James record. And that's one thing that I've always just loved doing. I used to take my mom's old records and take a piece of paper and draw like Bob Seger from Stranger in the Town and copy the record and, draw all those pictures and everything. And I just listen to all the music. And I just always loved creating something from nothing. That's always been a passion of mine, whether it was an art piece, you have a blank canvas. You sit down with a guitar and before you write the song, there's nothing. And then all of a sudden you have something. And that's always what I've wanted to do as a personal person, is just leave a legacy behind for my kids and their kids to say, this is who your grandpa was, or
Yeah, I think that's every artist's dream. I know we've talked about that on the show a few times. That's what all of our goals are. Is like hopefully someone keeps listening to this and enjoying this for years after we're gone.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
So it's nice to leave behind all that. It's just these little footprints of yourself. And
I think it's nice too to not always have to write songs about yourself either.
No.
I was kind of thinking about that today. I've started trying to write some of my own songs for the first time that aren't instrumental, like trying to write lyrics and things. And everything is introspective, and I almost have no idea yet how to even go the other way. But I was just thinking maybe
humanize the toaster.
Yeah, right. Or
Yeah,
I don't know.
I remember somebody told me
humanize the toaster. Right. Pick a topic, and I thought that was really cool. What you were talking about today, of how you came up with that song. That was just a phrase that kind of popped in your head, and you went with it. Like you say, creating something from nothing is really
It's
great.
fun to put yourself in someone else's position because, we all know what we're living and what we're experiencing. But to write a song from someone else's point of view, you have to put yourself in that point of view and really see what they're kind of seeing. And I mean, sometimes some of the things people have been through, you can't imagine what they're going through.
Yeah.
But if you try to put yourself in that seat as a songwriter, it's a fun and exciting thing to do too, to feel that sadness or feel that pain or that happiness or whatever, and then convey it into a song.
I think it makes it a lot easier, obviously, for the audience to relate to the songs that you're writing too, because then it almost seems as if you're writing a song about them. I mean, I know a lot of times I've, listened to songs that hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that person was being introspective too or whatever, but I guess it's just to be something you have to go through too when you first start writing lyrics. I mean, that's like the easiest thing to learn on, is just maybe it's like still safe because no one knows if you're telling the truth or if you got the exact symbolism right, because it's your own anyways,
Yeah, and you can always hide behind it too. If it is a song about you can always say, no, that ain't about me. I wrote that about my friend Tom.
Yes. Yes,
I wrote that about Tom Maslowski.
I have many speeches prepared for that already. Oh no, yeah, it's just a thing, What was, I don't know, like what do you think really got you hooked on it for sure? I mean, obviously it was always in your family and in your blood, and it was like a creative instinct that you had, a desire that you had to just kind of do that stuff anyways. But, this is the only job that you have, if I understand correctly. What?
No, I have my own business doing, it's called Mozart, doing graphic design and web design as well.
So it's still creative stuff.
Yes. As long as I'm doing that, I'll be a happy man.
Right. Was there like a moment you knew like this was what you were going to pursue? You were going to do the art stuff. You were not going to do the 9-to-5 thing. I mean, like when did you know for sure? Was it something that just you always assumed growing up?
I think it was probably after doing 7 years of construction. and then it was like, I'm on a roof with, a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the wind on a 2-story roof going, this sucks.
Yeah.
I could fly away at any moment like a kite, so.
I was a terrible employee.
Yeah, I mean, and I've always been, my other boss that I had a previous job at Gamma Group used to call me a free spirit. I'd come in at 9:30 and I'd leave at 2, and I mean, he just let me do it because when I was there, I got my work done and I was good at what I did when I was there. But he knew that he wasn't going to get me to come in at 10 to 9 and leave at 5 or 5 after that,
Or come in on Sunday.
Yeah, it's just so I've always been a free spirit, kind of doing what I feel. I mean, I don't know if that there was any one moment where it was like, this is what I want to do. I think it's just been ingrained in me in my whole life, and it's just kind of who I came to be.
You just
you
kind
know?
of just drifted that direction
Yeah.
organically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all have at some point.
So, I mean, it was interesting when I first got my first serious band, because I was in bands, like a lot of people during high school and junior high and all that. And they were your mess around bands. You were green as could be, and you were trying to, emulate your heroes and musical heroes.
Speaking of which, who were those heroes then?
Oh, back then, man, I have a wide variety of heroes. But it's like I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, so I got a country music education from them, like Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton and Porter Wagner, Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty. And then my mom, when I spent time at my mom's, I would have Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, Hart, Eric Clapton, all the classic rock stuff, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. So it was like the very first time I think that, I've always tried to emulate, I think, but I was in the bands like, Stryper. I was in the Iron Maiden.
I was gonna say, did you ever go down the metal road?
Oh yeah, man. I was a huge Prince fan.
Yeah.
For many, many years, still an avid Prince fan, but not as much as I was when I first met my wife, Karen, 26 years ago. I mean, I was wearing, jelly bracelets and chrome bracelets all the way up to my elbows on both arms, and driving a Chevette as fast as it could go, like a go-kart, listening to 1999 and Prince cassettes, you know?
Well, Prince is a good person to be paying attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone that's got 10 master's degrees in 10 different instruments, I think is worthy of some
That's one
some
thing
respect.
Brent and Fcaebook and I have very much in common, is we're both our love for Prince.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to have him up here and hear about him and Phil and all the stories that you guys had. We hardly got a chance to touch on any of those stories.
Mhm.
And I know, I knew those guys in high school, and I heard about them, Gowhead disbanding, and them joining up with you with the Stragglers. Are you from around here? Did you grow up around here?
Yeah. I can give you a whole brief history of the Chicago streets thing and how I came to come down here.
Yes.
As quickly as possible. I was working up north. Not a morning person. Got in a car wreck, fell asleep at a railroad track and rear-ended a semi, ended up in the hospital and said, I am not doing this commute anymore. Ended up, my friend called me the next day, had no idea what happened to me, said, there's a job in Joliet doing what you do down the street from Chicago Street Pub here. And I said, okay. So I called, got the job. Long story short, started hanging around down here, came down, Chicago Street Pub became my place to eat. Met John Condren.
So this was this post Mary? Did he own?
No, Mary had owned the bar at the time.
Okay.
So John was just managing the bar and working behind the bar, and I'd met him, and we hit it off right away. For those of you who know, I'm talking about John Condren. And, I mean, just such a beautiful soul and beautiful person and great singer-songwriter, too,
I agree.
And I had my Brent James band CD, and it was just kind of on the outskirts of disbanding. And
now, side note, who was in the Brent James band? Was that any of the crew or the family that still walks around here doing stuff?
not too much anymore. I mean, Kev Wright was in the Brent James band. He was a guitar player, and he'd written some songs as well in the Brent James band.
Okay.
There was a bass player that was a first bass player for the Stone City Stragglers, which was J.J. Pyatt, but he hasn't been around in years. Great bass player.
Yeah, I don't know him.
And then Dave French, not really around the scene. And that was pretty much it. It was a four-piece.
Okay.
But that was more of a country thing, like straight-up country thing. And when that was disbanding, I kind of was starting to listen into like the underground scene of the alt country scene, like Whiskey Town and Uncle Tupelo and all those other things that were going on at that time, you know. And I started really digging that. And remember the day the Brent James band disbanded, and my wife Karen had to go to her friend Sheila's some type of party that she was having at some bar up north in the city. And so I didn't really want to go. I was all bummed and everything. You know, my band just broke up. And I walk in. I ended up going because I'm supporting my wife, you know. I end up going, and I'm sitting there, and I'm all, you know, kind of pissy. And this band starts to play. And I'm like, man, these guys are amazing, you know. And I'm just watching these two cats in the band. And it's just these. Now, everybody in the band was great, but these two cats in the band, like, caught my attention. And it was Ensemble Exu, the reggae band. and it was Phil on guitar and Brent Fcaebook on the drums.
Jace Mother's playing bass, boy.
Yeah, and they just blew me away, man. And I remember talking to them after the show, telling them how great I thought they were and everything, and talking to them about this thing that I was wanting to start up, and that it was more of a, an Americana type of thing. Threw the band names at them, and they're like, well, yeah, give us a call or whatever. And so we exchanged numbers, and I remember Brett was living with Phil at the time, and I went over there and kind of played him my previous record, and he's like, well, I'm not really into that mainstream country type of thing. And I'm like, well, that's not what I want to do. I want to go in a completely different direction than that. And so he's like, well, I'd be cool with that, So then we ended up getting together, and we got J.J. Pyatt, which was the bass player in the Brent James band, came over into the Stone City Stragglers. My wife played percussion, and then we had Allison Maroney on the background vocals that Brett had found. And she was a friend of Brett's at that time. And we just started playing Americana music, and we started hitting it off at the pub down here. And that was really my first band that was playing at the pub.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that was definitely before my time. I didn't know any of you guys. I didn't know about this place at all. I mean, I knew Brett and Phil from high school. I knew actually Allison from high school, friends and bands and things like that too. That's crazy the way it just kind of, you guys were all in the city, met each other randomly, and you're both from the same town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are the odds of that? That's pretty great.
But then you know how this musical thing works, this whole journey. I mean, that's how I met Kevin Krause, and I met so many different people. It's like a spider web,
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a great community, and thanks to Kathy and Mike Trisna for really supporting live music downstairs and what they do down there, because, there's many venues in town. I mean, I consider them the original music venue in town.
Yeah, I totally agree. If it wasn't for Mike and Kathy, none of us freaks would have anywhere to go and get all this done.
True.
So how did the Stragglers then turn into the Righteous Hillbillies? Because, I mean, obviously Kev Wright was not in the Stragglers.
Right. Well, Kevin and I were in Brent James' band together, and then we started doing acoustic shows. And then that kind of caught on, and we had opened a show for John, or not opened a show. John had us as guests for his CD release party that he had at Bicentennial Park. And he introduced us as, for this next song, I need to call upon two righteous hillbillies. So we kind of chuckled backstage, and as I said before, it was kind of, if you know John, it might have been like a slightly backhanded compliment. And so that's the next day I'm in the bar, and a guy walks in the bar, I'm having lunch, and a guy says, man, great CD release party, John, hey, by the way, who are those two righteous hillbillies? Those guys were great. So I'm like, we were only doing acoustic shows at that time, so I immediately called Kevin, like, bro, the name of the band is the Righteous Hillbillies. So that's kind of how it, came about. And then I know we're running out of time, kind of speed things forward a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
Because I'd like to give the shout out to, some of the members of the band now.
Shout them out.
We have Barrett Harvey playing drums with us, Jeff Bella on the bass, young gun guitar player named Nick Normando, and Chris Bartley playing keyboards for us.
Chris is great. I got to play with him a few times, just like a for fun project. He's great. I could not believe when I saw him on stage. We were at, was it Vet Fest? I think was the first time I saw him in the band. I'm like, how the hell do you know these guys? Yeah,
he's a monster.
Like, he's great.
Well, him and Barrett were, it's just it's that whole musician network we were talking about, the whole spider web. They were playing in another project together, and then Barrett's like, well, I know a keyboard player. And it was like everybody was calling us Southern rock, and I didn't really know why, because it was like, to me, Southern rock was the epitome of having 3 electric guitars and a keyboard player, and like 4 or 5 background singers. And, here's this little 4-piece that they're calling Southern rock.
So you obliged.
We obliged, yeah. I've always wanted keys in the band, too. We've had people come in, and we've always put them on songs, in the studio, just for that little added touch, and it was really cool. But Chris can throw down, man. He's a great player.
Yes. So so Kev was just doing whatever in between the Brent James band and the Righteous Hillbillies. What made that transfer? I know, things fell apart with the Stragglers for whatever reason, and then that's when you started playing acoustic with Kevin again?
We were actually doing acoustic shows while the Stragglers were still playing a little bit.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, and then we turned it into a full band scenario. I mean, Kev's a great songwriter, as you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a suitcase full of hundreds of songs that he's had from day one, so he can pull out anything, and he's the kind of guy that can write a song in a day.
Yeah.
Where it's me, I've always been like that kind of guy that's got an idea, and it might transpire in a week. It may transpire in a day. Sometimes they transpire in an hour, but sometimes they take a couple months.
Yeah.
You know. So Kevin wrote a lot of great songs through the Righteous Hillbillies with the Righteous Hillbillies band, and then he wanted to take off and do a venture with his acoustic music and everything like that. And,
Sure.
And he's doing really well with that. And I continued the Righteous Hillbillies with the addition of Nick on guitar and Chris Bartley.
Yeah,
So.
they're two great additions.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier with both of them.
And you can tell they both enjoy playing with you guys also, so it's kind of cool. Like they're not just filling shoes or jobbing. Like
Yeah.
they enjoy.
We're
being
actually
there.
filling that whole Southern rock thing that people are talking about now. You know? I mean, Nick was schooled. I mean, he was just cut from the stone of Leonard Skinner and Allman Brothers. He's 26 years old. And when I first met the guy, it was at an open mic, and I went up to do 2 songs, and he was playing guitar, and I was just like, I looked over at this kid, and when I met him, he was 23. I'm like, who the hell is this, you know? And I'm like, I talked to him after it, and asked him how old he was, and as soon as he tells you he's that good and he's 23, it's like you kind of look at him and you got that like F you attitude, I don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
I wish I was that good when I was 23.
Or you do like everyone else did, like with Derek Trucks, and you snatch him up and get him in your band now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, it didn't happen then, but it happened months later. I ended up I told Scott about him, and we ended up seeing him. We were playing a Freedom Fest, and I'm standing here talking to Scott, and my back's against the stage, and all of a sudden I hear this rip and slide guitar, and I turn around, and it's Nick. And I'm like, this is the kid I was telling you about, And so when it came time for us to audition new guitar players, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea how to get in touch with him.
Oh, geez.
I didn't even know his name. So I was basically Facebook stalking and looked up the band that was there the previous year. He wasn't listed as a guitar player. Found out later, like a week later, I ended up finding out he was a guest guitar player because that guitar player couldn't make the show.
Wow.
Then I found out his name, contacted him. He had already known who we were from playing the Freedom Fest and stuff.
That just goes to show all beginning musicians or people that don't have anyone to jam with, you take every gig you possibly can. I mean, he played a guest gig at this show, and then, you saw him at the one show that he played with that band. That's like, you have to take every possible gig you can. You never know who you're going to run into.
Opportunities are fleeting, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of, right? I mean, I met Dave, kind of an offhand thing too, I went into the studio with Hoffer before I was in the band. I kind of just went just to do it. Like, all right, I'll go record. These are cool songs. I've never been to a really nice studio like that.
Yeah, I brought
before.
Hoffer into Chicago Recording Company. I was interning there. Booked him a session there.
I've never done that. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Then I meet Dave, and we start talking about doing all this goofy stuff, and now we're doing a podcast,
And a great podcast it is. Thank you guys so much for bringing to light the local music that's actually downtown Joliet here, because there is such a huge variety of music too. It's not just one genre either.
Right.
I mean, it's you have pop music, you have country music, you have folk music, you have rock music.
Yeah.
And it's just great, and it's been going on for years and years. So it's really nice that some local musicians are taking notice of that and like really putting it out there to the public. So thank you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely.
It's the least we can do. I want to keep it going. I don't want to see it, fade out like all the other ones do.
I think you got enough musicians to go around for a couple of years more, don't you?
Yeah, I was looking at the list. I'm like, geez, season 1 of all solo artists is going to be like 50 episodes or something. Season 1, 50 episodes. Like, what the hell? And there we are, the magic chimes, signifying the end of the interview portion of our show. We let Brent go a little bit longer. We had a little computer crash situation going, so we had to kind of pick up where the pieces fell.
That's right. Try and find the edit.
We did. Yeah, go ahead. I dare you.
They cut out 10 years of my childhood story.
One thing I did want to have you talk about and mention before we close up shop, though, is the May 8th show at the Rialto Sqaure Theater.
Yes. I'm honored that Triz asked us to play. We played the Rialto once before. We opened for Charlie Daniels over there. And as a little kid, I told my grandma, I was like, that was one of my dreams to play the Rialto Sqaure Theater, because to me, it is the jewel of Joliet. They call it the jewel of Joliet, the gem of Joliet. And I've been to Chicago theater, and it's nice, but I think the Rialto is just, it's a pinnacle. And it's just, it's awesome that the community supporting it to keep it going.
Yeah.
And it's great that Triz is stepped up to get the local musicians to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that the Rialto and the city has accepted the local musicians to come into the house and play.
Yeah, and
You know,
rumor has it, if it does well enough, hopefully we can just keep it going. It's a local music Monday. It's going to be 6 to 9.
John Condren.
Yeah,
Looking forward to
yeah,
Bad Saddles.
Yep, a lot of great music, and then I think there's 2 more booked. I think there's going to be one every single month, and the other 2 are already set to go. So I mean, $20 to go see 3 hours of like really, really great music. It's going to sound great. The musicianship is going to be great. It's going to be a good performance, a good
It's
show.
at the Rialto.
I mean, it's not just like going to see, the local band at the block party. These are great musicians or great bands that deserve to be in the Rialto and deserve to be heard by more than just our buddies, I think.
Yeah. And you can get tickets on rialtosquare.com. You can get them from band members, and you can also get them from Chicago Street Pub downstairs.
Absolutely.
And I can't forget to mention one more person before we finish this.
Please do.
And that's Billy Aldridge. Without Billy Aldridge running Third City Sound, you would not be able to run your podcast.
Nope.
We recorded our last record here, and Billy treated us great. He's got a great studio, good state-of-the-art equipment, and, a lot of people know Billy. He was part of the Righteous Hillbillies at one time. He played bass for us.
Yep.
And he's just a great guy. So any musicians listening out there, check out Billy's Third City Sound and come up and do some recording here. It's a great room.
I completely agree. He always puts a lot of care and he intensity into what he does too. He's not playing games.
Yeah.
But you won't see it because he's kind of emotionless.
He's got a game face. Whether it was a great take or a horrible take, you will get the same response.
Won't know if he likes your music.
Yeah.
Should
Doing a
never
lot of
ask
rap
him.
sessions.
And if you ask him, he'll go, oh, yeah.
The most neutral thing we can do. What's the story on the second song for us?
You know what? I'm going to do Beautifully Broken because that was kind of like a part of the songwriting where I co-wrote it with Dave Masiocher, who you know.
Yes.
Who's written, a book on Bruce Springsteen, Mellencamp, his recent one on Metallica, on the Black Album.
Oh, wow.
He's doing a lot of different things in the work, but Dave is a great guy, good friend, and we get together once in a while on Tuesdays or Thursdays and throw on some beers, and we usually throw out some ideas for songs and stuff. And one day we came up with this song called Beautifully Broken, and it was kind of like a little bit of a shift into that more southern rock direction for us.
Okay, very cool.
So.
Always caught in complication. Where's a tilted halo? Crown of thorns beneath the bed. Beautifully broken. She's all but dead and gone. Spoiled by aggravation, favorite irritation. She gave me a taste of something never can forget. Beautifully broken. She's all but dead and gone. Dead and gone like yesterday, like everything that we meant to say. Dead and gone in a buried grave, just like the love she gave. Beautifully broken. She's all but dead and gone. Dead and gone. Memories like a token, it's weighing down. She made me feel like home till the blues came around. Beautifully broken. She's all but dead and gone. She was dressed like the devil, hidden on his best. Now she got me praying to give trouble a rest. Beautifully broken. She's all but dead and gone. Dead and gone like yesterday. dead and gone in a very grave, just like the love she gave. Beautifully broken, she's all but dead and gone. Yeah, I'm beautifully broken, she's all but dead and gone.
By yourself on your own. I gotta say that was a real treat.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Tom, your mic went out again, Tom.
It sure did.
I can hear you.
It was probably when you were walking around on the cables.
I was pretty good about that. It's a night of snafus.
Yeah, right.
Or mishaps, not snafus. All right. Take 9. Brent, Scott, who's been here on the sidelines quietly observing the whole night. It was fun to have you guys up here tonight. Thanks for making it up.
Hey, thank you guys for having us. I really appreciate you having us, and thank you for all you're doing for the Joliet music community, man. It's really awesome.
It's our pleasure. As you can see, we're doing it poorly.
No. Hey, man, technical difficulties are technical difficulties.
Exactly. Hey, thanks for helping us out there.
Yeah,
The
difficulties.
That's like the Adam Sandler movie when the kid pisses himself and then he like splashes water on him. That was pretty cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem.
We also would like to thank Bill Aldrich for constantly letting us use his facility every Monday night to goof around here.
Hovering over his shoulders while he's trying to finish up some mixes.
Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? We, of course, want to thank Mike and Kathy Trisna for all that they do downstairs at Chicago Street Pub. And it's a pretty fun night. If anyone is ever around on a Monday night, we record every Monday night. There's an open mic night that happens, acoustic open mic night. It's really friendly, a lot of good musicians. It's always a warm welcome. And now, once a month, there's going to be a happening show at the Rialto Sqaure Theater. So if you can make it out, I would. You will enjoy yourself as much as we do, I'm sure.
Next Monday, 8th.
Monday the 8th. We're going to try to get this episode out early so that we can spread the word a little bit. So get on out and have some fun with us. Brent.
Tom.
You want to give us the outro with your radio voice and let the audience know what they're listening to?
I don't even remember how I did it.
You did your Casey Kasem, What's Going Down?
What's going down in downtown J-Town?
Yeah, what's going down in downtown J-Town? What's going down in downtown J-Town? What's going down in downtown J-Town? Tom and Dave will tell you what.
How's that?
That was great.
All right, cool.
And now,
A little hillbilly for you.
a little Brian Motel from River Horse. It's my favorite.